Welcome to our first ever virtual model Seder. Even though we are distanced by our physical space, we are all united. I'm so glad that today we can all celebrate together. Because don't forget, we are all one family. From the ECE preschool and synagogue, we wish you all a happy, healthy Passover. And I hope you enjoy our model Seder.
It's a pleasure to share our 2020 Passover Seder with you for the first time ever virtually. During our Seder, we will ask the question, why is this night different from all other nights? And this year's Seder will certainly be different from all other Seders. For our Seder, we'll be utilizing a Haggadah we created for our own Temple Aliyah Synagogue community. I'm Rabbi Vogel, and along with Hazzan Stein, as we have for 20 years, we are going to lead a Seder for our nursery school families. Hi, kids. Are you having a great time? So good to see you all. But if you're watching a recording of this to use later during your actual Seder, I just want to explain a couple of things. The interactive Haggadah we'll be using, you can find online here at kidshaggadah.com. The opening page will look like this. We provided a link to download and print a copy of the Haggadah if you like. On the Haggadah, if you click, you'll actually open it up. Hazzan Stein and I will be leading an abbreviated Seder for our nursery school families. But when leading your own Seder, you can feel free to include other sections of the Haggadah and to go at your own pace. Just by clicking here, you can follow along and be able to share. And if you're leading your own Seder and you'd like a little help leading the prayers or just some beautiful music, all you have to do is click here to be able to engage the interactive Haggadah and to listen along like this.
Winter is gone, spring is near, birds are singing, Pesach is here.
And every time you click on, you'll hear Hazzan Stein or Hazzan Mimi Hasselkorn, who can help lead you through the songs and prayers. But since we have Hazzan Stein live, we won't be needing these buttons for our Seder. So whether it is Hazzan Stein and me leading your Seder now, or you choose to lead your own, we hope that you have a meaningful and wonderful experience this Passover. So let's begin. Passover always falls in the spring. It's a celebration of life, a time when flowers and plants bloom. Spring is a time of joy. Let's join together.
Winter is gone, spring is near, birds are singing, Pesach is here. Winter is gone, spring is near, birds are singing, Pesach is here. We'll continue to the next song, Simcha Rabbah. What great joy we have at this time of year. Sing along with me. Simcha Rabbah, Simcha Rabbah, Aviv Yigina, Pesach Ba. Simcha Rabbah, Simcha Rabbah, Aviv Yigina, Pesach Ba. Tafru, 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 Beged Ikisim, Milu, 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 Kisei, Be'ekozim, Simcha Rabbah, Simcha Rabbah, Avivina, Pesach Ba, Simcha Rabbah, Simcha Rabbah, Avivina, Pesach Ba.
At the Seder, we read the story of Passover from the Haggadah. Haggadah means telling. We tell the story of our ancestors, our family who lived a long time before us, coming out of Egypt. We begin Passover just like we begin Shabbat and all Jewish holidays with the blessing over the candles. Hazzan Stein.
There you go. We bring the light towards our eyes. One for ourselves, one for our families, one for all the people in the world. And remember, we'll sing just a little bit different words. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, b'mitzvotav. Mitzivanu, mitzivanu lehadlik ner, mitzivanu, mitzivanu lehadlik ner, mitzivanu, mitzivanu lehadlik ner, shel yom tov. And then on the first night, we continue with the Shehechianu. We're so glad and so thankful that we have reached this day. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kibanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kibanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh. Let's all sing Amen together. Again.
Now we can begin our Seder. We join together for the Kiddush, a special blessing over the wine or grape juice. And so if you have your Kiddush cups in front of you with grape juice, my little friends, I want you to hold them up as Hazzan Stein is going to lead us.
Baruch atah Adonai, a special melody for the holiday. Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. And then we continue. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh.
As we sip the wine or grape juice, we lean to our left as a sign of freedom. At our Seder, we will drink 4 cups.
Don't forget to lean. Lean, 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 lean. When we drink wine on Seder night, we lean to the left. Our wine to the right. Whenever we're drinking, all we have to do is lean, 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 lean. Take a sip of wine, really tastes so fine, especially when we're free. By the time we get to 4, oh sure, we're singing happily. Join me, everybody. Lean, 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 lean.
On the Seder table are 3 pieces of matzah, which I have here, and a Seder plate with special foods. We have a roasted egg symbolizing the Hagigah, the festival offering offered on all holidays. We have parsley and greenery symbolizing the freshness of spring. We have a roasted bone symbolizing the sacrifice of the Israelites they made before leaving Egypt. We have haroset, chopped apples and nuts symbolizing the mortar that the Jewish slaves used to build the cities for Pharaoh. We have bitter herbs, the maror, as well, symbolizing the bitterness of slavery. Some of you may have a sixth object on your Seder plate, bitter lettuce known as Hazzan. As we continue in our Haggadah, we're going to be able to do washing of hands. And on this Seder night, washing our hands, it has new meaning as well. I'm going to wash my hands. In preparation for eating the green vegetable, we wash our hands. The washing is done without a blessing. Sometimes only the leader of the Seder washes. It represents the fact that we are free and enjoying this wonderful meal in comfort. We're each going to dip a piece of parsley into the salt water. So hopefully you have in front of you something green, and you can dip it into the salt water if you will, right? Dip it in. And Hazzan Stein, if you'll lead us, please.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'adamah.
You dip in that salt water, a little snack that you can eat. And now we get to the middle matzah. We're going to take out the matzah from the 3 matzot that we have. And I'm going to break it in half. We're going to hide the afikomen, the larger piece. And so I'm going to put it in here. And this afikomen is hidden till later in the Seder. You put it in my Haggadah, my afikomen bag. And I'm going to have a helper who's going to hide it for me. I'm going to close my eyes. I wonder where it's going to be hidden. You're going to have to help me later find it. Where could it be? Okay, I think it's hidden. There we go. It's time to hide the afikomen, so I didn't peek. We're going to search for it later. Before we begin the actual telling, it's important to know that although everyone is different, each of us is made in the image of God. We're going to read the story of the 4 children. This story reminds us that each of us sees and understands the world in a different way. In some ways, each of us has a bit of all 4 children within us. We have the wise child, we have the wicked child, the simple child, and the child who does not know how to ask. And it's time for the 4 questions. The youngest who's capable asks the 4 questions. In some families, everyone sings along. So I want you all to join along with Hazzan Stein right now as you join together in the 4 questions.
Ma nishtana halayla hazeh ki kol halelot, ki kol halelot, shebechol halelot anu ochlim chametz umatzah, chametz umatzah. Halayla hazeh kulo matzah, halayla hazeh kulo matzah. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים שאר ירקות, שאר ירקות. הלילה הזה מרור מרור, הלילה הזה מרור מרור. שבכל הלילות אין אנו מטבילים אפילו פעם אחת, אפילו פעם אחת. הלילה הזה שתהיה פעמים, הלילה הזה שתהיה פעמים. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים בין יושבים ובין מסובים, בין יושבים ובין מסובים. הלילה הזה, כולנו מסובים. הלילה הזה, כולנו מסובים.
We're going to continue our Seder. Now let's start the story of the Exodus. We begin by describing how we were slaves. Avadim hayinu, we were slaves in Egypt.
Avadim hayinu, ata b'nei chorin, Avadim hayinu, ata b'nei chorin, Avadim hayinu, ata b'nei chorin,
And feel free to look at the Haggadah and to ask the questions that we've included there. Like, what does it mean to you to be free? And on this Passover, when we think about having less freedom, how much more that we can feel like the Israelites as they anticipated their freedom. The Jewish people had to work very hard building cities for King Pharaoh. Boys and girls, get your hammers and your shovels and get those stones all ready for Hazzan Stein. I want to see you all singing together. Here we go.
Bang, 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 hold your hammer low. Bang, 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 give a heavy blow. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. Get your shovel, everybody. Dig, 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 dig your shovel deep. Dig, 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 there's no time to sleep. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. All right, everybody, put your fingers underneath those stones and lift, 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 lift your stones up high. Lift, 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 till they reach the sky. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light.
As we continue with the Seder, well, wait, I forgot to put my stone down. Wait, I've got, whoa, there we go. Well, Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, came down to the river and saw baby Moshe. Baby Moshe grew up to be big, brave Moshe, who helped the Jewish people be free. Let's join together. Where is baby Moses?
Everybody, let's look for Moses. Let me see you looking for Moses. Where is baby Moses? Moses, Moses. Where is baby Moses? He's in the river now. Can you make a basket? He's floating in a basket, a basket, a basket. He's floating in a basket in the river Nile. And somebody saw him. It was the princess, Pharaoh's daughter. Can you do the swim? Let's see you do the swim. The princess, she was swimming, swimming, swimming. The princess, she was swimming in the river Nile. She found the baby Moses, Moses, Moses. She found the baby Moses in the river Nile. She took him to the palace, the palace, the palace. She took him to the palace from the river Nile.
When Moshe grew up, he saw that the Jews were being treated unfairly by the Egyptians. God told Moshe to go to Pharaoh and tell him to, what did he say, everyone? Let my people go. Let's sing together.
The finger, that's Pharaoh. Oh, listen, Oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, please let my people go. They want to go away. They work too hard all day. King Pharaoh, what do you say? What did he say? No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go. Oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, please let my people go. They work too hard all day. They want to go away. Oh, listen. What do you say? What did Pharaoh say? No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go.
When Pharaoh wouldn't listen to Moshe and let the Israelites go, he was punished. First, the Nile River was turned into blood. Pharaoh promised to let the Israelites go, but when he broke his promise, he was punished again. The second plague was green and slimy. Can you guess what it was?
Everybody pretend to wake up. One morning when Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs on his bed, frogs on his head, frogs on his nose, frogs on his toes, frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere. Let's try it again. Everybody pretend you're waking up. One morning when Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs in his bed, there were frogs on his head, frogs on his nose, frogs on his toes, frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere.
After the frogs, there were 8 more plagues, a total of 10. As we read each one, we dip our finger in our grape juice or wine and remove a drop to show that even though we're celebrating now, we are sad that people suffered during the plagues. And so during your Seder, you may choose to repeat each of these plagues and to place a drop of grape juice or wine on your plate. After the 10th plague, Moshe once again came to Pharaoh. Finally, Pharaoh had enough and said,
Yes, 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 I'll let them go, I guess. Yes, 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 I'll let them go, I guess.
Before leaving Egypt, the Israelites ate a Seder with matzah. Thousands of years later, we sit here eating matzah just like they did.
I'm a little matzah, short and thin. Open your mouth and put me in. Baked in the desert by the sun. Pesach is coming, oh what fun. Let's try it again. I'm a little matzah, short and thin. Open your mouth and put me in. Baked in the desert by the sun. Pesach is coming, oh what fun.
You might not have realized it, but some of the most important parts of our Seder have been sitting here the whole time on our Seder plate. Pesach represents the sacrifice the Israelites made, the sign of faith they placed on their doors when God took us out of Egypt. And the matzah reminds us of being slaves. Remember when we left Egypt so quickly, the bread couldn't even rise. And maror, just a bitter herb, maybe horseradish or romaine lettuce, that reminds us of the bitter times we had as slaves for Pharaoh. We're free. The Israelites finally escaped the Egyptians and crossed the Red Sea. When they got to the other side, everyone danced and sang a song of thanks to God, led by Miriam, the sister of Moses. She helped lead the people to freedom.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she danced toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Just as the Israelites were grateful for God saving them at the sea, they were later grateful for all the other ways that God helped them. Like the Israelites, we are grateful not only for leaving Egypt, but also for gifts like the Torah, Shabbat, and eventually that the Israelites were able to enter the land of Israel. What things are you grateful for this year? Dayenu, it would have been enough.
Die, die, enu, die, die, enu, die, die, enu, die, enu, die, enu, die, enu, die, die, enu, die, die, enu, die, die, enu, die, enu, die, enu. Ilu hotzi, hotzianu, hotzianu, mi Mitzrayim, hotzianu, mi Mitzrayim, dayeinu, barabam, dayeinu, 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 dayeinu. Die, die, do, die, do, die, do. Ilu natan lanu etatora, natan lanu etatora, die, do, barabab, die, do, die, do. Die, die, do, die, do, die, do, die, do, die, do. Die, die, do, die, die, do, die, do, die, do. Natan lanu, etat Shabbat, natan lanu, etat Shabbat, die, do, barabab, die, do. Sing with me, die, do, die, do, die, do, die, do. One more time, die, do, die, do, die, do, die, do.
As we finish the Magid section, let's try one more time to think about what it felt like to be a slave and what it means to be free. The reason we have a Seder each year is so we can feel like we left Egypt with the Israelites. Can you imagine how thankful they were for their freedom? I bet this year you can think a lot more about that. What it means not to be free, to go out wherever you want. But like slavery, this will be over one day soon as well. And then you will feel that sense of freedom. It's time for the second cup. Don't forget to lean to the left when you drink. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beri hagafen. Lean, 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 lean.
We now wash our hands for a second time. So I'm going to wash my hands here. This time we're going to recite a blessing as we wash them, just like we do on Shabbat and other holidays. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishav mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. It's time to eat the matzah. First, we lift all the 3 matzot together, and we're going to recite the blessing together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
And then we take out the top and the broken matzah. See, I have the 2 top matzot from our order, and we're going to hold them together for the second blessing as we join together with Hazzan Stein.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat matzah.
And now you can eat your matzah, and you can eat. It's a good time. We're going to start eating our whole meal soon. But have that matzah. Oh, that tastes good. Now it's time for maror, which symbolizes the bitterness of slavery. And we're going to dip it into the haroset. So if you have haroset with you, you're going to dip it in. It represents the mortar used by the Israelites to build the cities for Pharaoh. We join together in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat maror.
And so you're going to eat the maror with the haroset on it. And now we get to make a sandwich. So you take some matzah, you put the maror in it, and you put some haroset with it as well. Eating the sandwich reminds us of the way in which Hillel, a great rabbi who lived a long time ago, would celebrate the Passover meal. Maror represents the bitterness of slavery. Haroset, the mortar that was used to build Pharaoh's cities. Matzah represents freedom, the Jewish people. By bringing these 3 things together, remember the entire Exodus. So you can eat your sandwich. This is a time that if you have food in front of you, boys and girls, if you have something nice you want to eat there, you can take a little bite there and eat along there. I'm going to take a drink of water. And if you're doing your Seders now in the evening, and this would be your time to have your meal and to just bring it all out. It may be a smaller type of festivity this year, recognizing how different Passover is. But some of you may prefer to continue on and to finish your Seder now. And so that's what we're going to do with our nursery school children. We're going to finish the Seder before we lose them completely. Right, parents? So where's the afikomen? We need to find it to help us finish the Seder. It's the dessert matzah. Uh-oh. Where did she hide that matzah? Oh, my goodness. Where's the afikomen? Where is it? Wait, let me find it. Where could it be? Maybe I know where it is. It's in here. Nope, it's not in that cupboard. No. Where could it be? Is it underneath the chair? No, not underneath there. Where could it be? Underneath my computer? Wait. Do you have it? Do you have my afikomen? Do you know where it is? Where would that afikomen be? Let's see. Let's see, am I getting warmer? Am I getting warmer? Am I? Oh, I found the afikomen. Oh my goodness. Now I can actually, and we can actually finish the afikomen. I want you to all have a piece of my afikomen, and we're going to join together in a song that Hazzan Stein loves. Here we go.
I'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yee-haw! I'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. I'll be coming round the mountain. I'll be coming round the mountain. I'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be driving 6-horse radish when she comes. She'll be driving 6-horse radish when she comes. She'll be driving 6-horse radish. Driving 6-horse radish, she'll be driving 6-horse radish when she comes.
Now that we've eaten, I did eat a little bit, Hazzan Stein. Some of the people who are going to eat, they really are going to eat. It's time to give thanks to God for our food. Just join us in a little bit. Please lead us, Hazzan Stein, in the blessing.
We'll say the last blessing at the end of this paragraph. Baruch atah Adonai Hazzan et hakol. Blessed are you, God, who provides everything for us.
It's time for the third cup of grape juice or wine. Don't forget to lean to the left as you drink it. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei beri hagafen lean, 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 lean.
I'm still leaning a little bit. Hold on. Let me straighten up there, Hazzan Stein. We're thankful for so many things. Hallel, our special psalms we sing to thank God. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov. How good it is to give thanks. As we near the end of our Seder, we start thinking about the future. Elijah makes us think of a better time when everyone will live in peace, when all people will be free. So boys and girls, here's what I want you to do. Or if you're at your Seder table, somebody get up, go to a door, okay? Any door you can see that leads outside, whether it's a front door or a sliding door or any door. I want you to open it, and we're going to welcome in Elijah the prophet, Eliyahu Hanavi.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Atishmi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera ve'yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Atishmi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
It's time for the fourth and final cup of grape juice or wine. Don't forget to lean to the left as you drink it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei beri hagafen. Lean, 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 lean.
We finished our Seder. Woohoo! What a special night. We told the story of the Exodus with word, song, and food. Telling the story of the Exodus and celebrating our freedom every year is important. Next year, maybe we can celebrate in Israel. Shana Haba'ah B'Yushalayim.
Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah, Lishana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim.
It's been such a pleasure to share this Passover Seder with you. This year, we are in our homes. Next year, may we all be free to be able to go to any family we wish, to share with everybody. But on this Passover, you'll know you have us and those around you, or those virtually sharing with you, May this Pesach, may it be one of goodness and health for you all. And we say Chag Sameach. Miss Andrea?
Thank you so much, Rabbi and Hazzan. We really, truly appreciate it. That was a wonderful Seder, and it's so nice to celebrate all together, even though, as I say, we are distanced by space. We really appreciate it, ECE families. We miss you. We hope you enjoy our Seder, and we wish you all a Chag Sameach.